Welcome in, everyone, to this gloomy Monday, episode 282 of The Dream Wager. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me is our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis. How you doing today, kid?
I'm doing great, Dylan. Feel good Monday. Ready to recap this awesome weekend with you guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we had a great weekend. USFL, great playoffs, I thought. I thought both games, even though one was a blowout, I still thought both games were pretty good. Over the weekend, great. I went amazing in UFC. Had a great weekend overall, but yeah, we'll recap the weekend. We got some baseball games to break down for you as well, and one WNBA game tonight, a rematch from Saturday. But Elvis, let's start in the USFL. So the first game we had, I was so close to the under, but Pittsburgh Muellers, they win in overtime 31-27. And ultimately, it was just good game. Pittsburgh, they advance into the championship game this upcoming week. What'd you make of the game?
Still, great overall game. I expected the Sunday game to be better than the Saturday game. Was flipped on that by from the rip. I was just how surprised how both teams performed at the high level they did in the fourth quarter, though, because it was kind of a little sluggish. And then the fourth quarter and overtime, they just started fucking going it on. So it was exciting football. For the people, the fans that, don't watch the USFL, I wasn't sold on it either. But what I saw Saturday night was flat out entertaining. So I just hope, more people start paying attention to what's going on because it's exciting football that's being played. I give credit to the Pittsburgh Maulers. They played themselves a game deal. I honestly thought the brain fart.
Panthers.
The Panthers was gonna pull it out, Dill, especially in that fourth quarter. But give credit to Williams, the quarterback, making a huge play in the fourth quarter, forcing overtime, and then making those 2-point conversions back to back to seal the game.
I think two things were there. Yeah, I agree on everything. Panthers should have won the game, to be honest.
If they had it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing they lost was, if you look at it, total yards, 410 to Michigan Panthers to 291. They averaged 7.7 yards per play. What they messed up on, in my opinion, were turnovers. They had 3 turnovers. Pittsburgh had nothing. When you win the turnover battle, 90% of no matter what you're playing, if it's Canadian football, USFL, XFL, NFL, if you win the turnover battle, more likely you're going to win most times.
They turned over 3 out of their first 4 possessions. That's what you know.
That's when it was bad. And you're right. The first half was looking sluggish. I was like, okay, this is perfect for the under. And then the second half, both teams like, screw this. We're just going to let everything go. And to be honest, it was the red zone efficiency for Pittsburgh for Michigan as well. They only had, they went 2 trips into the red zone and they only converted on 1 when Pittsburgh was 3 for 4. When they got there, they were able to score. And I think that was the difference. But you're right. I like Williams for Pittsburgh. He led the drive to force overtime. He threw for over 200 yards, and he was even the leading rusher. 6 carries for 36 yards as well. So as for the Panthers, Perry, they got him for the Canadian League, and they got him only 2 weeks ago. So just imagine what this offense could have been, I guess, the whole season leading up to him if they had a competent quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dill. Like I said, I liked what I saw. They should have won the game. Turnovers in the first half cost you, and then late defensively cost you as well, Dill. Kind of love the overtime rolling. A little different, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, what do you think about it's kind of like the NCAA where they're just going to put you at the 5 or the 10-yard line, and no matter how many times, we got to see who gets it first. I don't know about that. I like their kickoff rules a little better than their overtime rules.
Yeah, but still, it's something different, and it's entertaining, though, and it's fast-paced,
Yeah, 100%. And then at the second game last night, Stallions, they take care of business, beating New Orleans 47-22. Don't let that score fool you. It was like 40-7 at one point. New Orleans came on a little late after the team came in.
It was also 7-3 breakers at one point as well. So
it was. And then I think they scored on the first 6-7 possessions. Like New Orleans just couldn't stop them no matter what they did. And it was kind of crazy because the first time they played, it was literally the reverse. New Orleans kind of put it towards the Stallions. And then this time, oh my God, they 553 total yards. And my boy, I think he's the best quarterback. Andrew McCaw is just, he's a beast. I mean, what that guy was doing, if he's playing like that, Pittsburgh is in for a long night. I think they might win back to back. We will see. But what'd you think of the Stallions' performance last night?
Flat out pure domination, Dill. I thought the Breakers had a chance, especially when they took that first quarter 7-3 lead, Dill. But the only mistake I can honestly say I seen the Stallions have was missing the extra point in their first quarter, Dill. Besides that, it was damn near almost flawless football, as you could say, Dill. I was shocked how easy they were able to dominate the Breakers. After the first quarter, they settled in and just completely started taking over. Halftime, it was like 26-7. And then finals, I didn't even care. I ended up stopping it right there because I knew the Breakers didn't have an answer for the Stallions offense.
Yeah, not at all. And to be honest, I was mentioning before we went live, like who I really think is a major part of this team's consistency and success is honestly the running back, CJ Marble. Last year he played, he was like the second string, second fiddle to Bo Scarborough, but now he's coming off an injury, and I thought he had a hell of a game last night. It's nothing crazy, but he had 11 carries for 72 yards. He rushed for 6.5 yards per carry. He had a touchdown as well. So, I mean, if all things are rolling for this team, it's going to be really hard to stop this Stallion team come next week, right?
Yeah, though. I don't know if you really looked ahead though. As of right now, the spread is at 6.5. It would have shocked me if it goes to 7.5. Because what we saw, because you know how I felt about the New Orleans Breakers. So I honestly had the Breakers winning it all this season, and to me, when you have a 4-6 team who just started coming along in the last month, and then you have first in Birmingham, who's been basically the best team for the last 2 seasons, coming on, Dill. It's going to be a tough task for Pittsburgh. Do they have a shot? Yeah. Do I think Williams and that running game can make some noise? Do I think they could possibly slow down Birmingham? Maybe, Dill, but what we saw, especially second quarter and on Sunday, that was damn near flat out domination.
They almost played a perfect game. To your point, without that extra point miss, I think they played a perfect game.
Dill, what I saw from the first quarter, from when New Orleans went up 7-3, right there, from that moment on, besides the extra point, I basically saw a perfect game, Bill. Yeah. Your guy, he made every throw. He scrambled. He went right. It was either a penalty or a 15-yard completion.
Yeah.
And the running back was getting 5 to 8 yards a chunk.
Yeah. And he ran the ball too. When you see a quarterback just mixing up and dicing up on every play, no matter what you play, you could call the perfect defense. There's nothing you could do.
And another thing that I loved about the quarterback deal, remember the face mask call, the real bad face mask?
Yes.
They had to take him out the game. And when he comes right back in, he's cheering on the crowd to get him amped. See, stuff like that brings intensity, brings like your O-line looks at it like, oh, he's like that. We want to block for him. Yeah. The running back's looking like, I'm about to run through somebody's throat. Our quarterback just got face line coming right back. Like, stuff like that gets the people going. You know?
Yeah. Alex McCaw, he's a baller. I'm telling you. And
I'm a fan now.
100%. And like you said, it's contagious. When a guy is coming off the field for one play and he's coming back screaming to the fans, I'm ready to run through the wall and I'm in my room. So it's like,
and I got New Orleans +3 and I'm over here like, oh man, we in trouble.
We in trouble.
Back after one play, I said, God damn.
The kid's a baller. I know you had New Orleans +3, but you're an honorable man. You give credit where credit's due. The kid's a baller.
He's a baller, though. The better team just looked like the better team yesterday. Yeah. Give credit to New Orleans, fantastic season. Arguably a top 2, top 3 team, but the Birmingham Stallions showing they're ready to be 2-time champs.
Two-time champs. Yes, that's crazy. But you're right. A little lean towards next week. We'll have Emery Hunt join the show on Saturday. We'll break it down. But I think like if it stays under a touchdown,
You gotta go. You gotta go.
I got to. I
Especially
have to.
if I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna take the second quarter. After what I saw Sunday, give me the second quarter and first half minus if minus
Whatever it is, it's gonna
three and
come
a
out
half.
closer to the game. But you know, I know Pittsburgh's probably gonna lean on Williams, and they do have a good defense. But I just don't know if their defense is as good as we think it is because towards the end, like they played a great first half, but Michigan kind of did whatever they really wanted to do in the second half, which kind
Especially
of
in the fourth
pauses me.
quarter. You saw that. Well, we
Exactly.
saw multiple 40+ yard touchdowns.
Yeah. And if Michigan is doing that, just imagine what Alex McCall's going to be dicing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know. I'm back and forth right now. It's just Monday, so we have time to come down on our official plays. But yeah, I thought it was a great weekend of football, actually. So it's getting me amped up. We're only about a little over a month and a half away from training camp. So can't wait for that. But let's switch over to the NBA. We had some NBA free agent news about literally only maybe an hour, 2 hours before we got on here. The Hawks, they finalized a trade to send forward John Collins, to the Jazz for Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick. Atlanta's largely just unloading Collins' 3-year, $78 million contract, probably some flexibility and, changes to the salary cap. So basically, Jazz, they're getting John Collins. Hawks, they're getting Rudy Gay in a future round pick. I mean, this doesn't surprise me, Elvis. With, all the news about the salary cap changing, teams would rather, to be honest, start to free up some cap space and get rid of all these scraps and then overpay all these players. I think we're going to start to see a lot from teams this offseason do that. What do you think about the move?
So me personally, if I'm a Jazz fan, I like it. If I'm a Hawks fan, I like it as well. Just because, let's just admit it, people. He's overpaid. My man John Collins, he had a great, what was it, 2020 run. Remember when they ended up beating the 76ers in 7, making it to the Eastern Conference Finals? He had a great playoff run, but that contract was just in that moment. He hasn't been that same player or been as, content in winning since that year, Dill. So, me personally, I think it's a great trade for both sides. Jazz, they get a borderline all-star caliber player that can help them win now. He can help them win now. He's gonna play a bunch of minutes. Can still average 12 to 15 a game. Get you some rebounds. Be a little veteran presence. So I like that. And then with Atlanta, Dill, you free up some cap space. You got Murray, you got Trae Young. As of right now, Trae Young's still a Hawk. Throughout the talks we've been hearing, as of right now, Trae Young is still a Hawk, and we haven't heard any reports that's looks like it's going to change otherwise. So if I'm Atlanta, now that I free up that cap space, do I look to add possibly another forward or big man to go along with Trae Young and Murray? Or do I try to get rid of Trae Young and Murray and try to get, another superstar and bring them into Atlanta? Because Atlanta is possibly a pretty good destination for a veteran player that's looking to get paid and possibly, contributing to winning. Because Atlanta, they got they got Trae Young, they got Devontae Murray. If they had a piece or two, hey, they could be right there in playoff contention. Remember, my man Trae Young, he's like that. We saw the shot he hit in game 4 in Boston. That was ice cold, and they're just a piece or two away from possibly making a deeper playoff run. We saw him make it to the Eastern Conference Championship with that team. Yes, I understand they beat the Ben Simmons and the 76ers. We still got to give him credit into making the Eastern Conference Championship. A lot of players haven't done that, and little bitty Trae Young have.
Love what you said. Keyword veteran. I don't think a young guy going to Atlanta is the best thing for him. There's a lot of distraction in Atlanta, but I think a veteran presence or a veteran star going there is great. I like the trade for both sides. I agree with you. John Collins, he's given the Jazz, a veteran, versatile forward. He's going to play alongside all-star Larry Marketing. They got all-rookie Walker Kessler. He's a stud. They got some nice pieces in Utah, and I think they can compete. They're going to play defense. They're going to play physical. I think they're a piece or two away, maybe a guard or something, but I think Utah's right there, and you got to think the Hawks are going to keep doing this. I think they're in rebuild mode. You got to imagine a guy like Clint Capella's next. He signed a 5-year, $90 million deal in 2001. And, apparently the Hawks are expected to continue making deals this offseason. And the ownership came out and said they gave GM Landry Fields. Is this the same Landry Fields, the Knicks Landry Fields? Because if he is, shout out him becoming a GM. But anyway, they gave Landry. I think it is. No cap, I think it is. But they gave him free range. They said, hey, you do what you got to do. Move the luxury tax, whatever you need necessary to do to improve this roster. They're giving him the keys to the castle. So we just expect Houston, I think, this offseason Atlanta, to start doing more deals like this. But you got to think Clint Capella's next, right?
Yeah, absolutely, Bill. Maybe they keep Clint Capella and possibly trying to work out like a more friendlier deal,
or just put all of his money into a bonus. Yeah, that's how they do it, right?
Because come on now, Clint Capella ain't worth what,
$90 million?
He ain't worth that. Maybe, like I said, these contracts are given through what they did in that playoff run. In that playoff run, you can't deny what they did. They overachieved, and then they got compensated for what they accomplished. Nobody expected Atlanta to go to Eastern Conference Finals that year,
No,
so shout out to the GM for taking care of the team, but they were all bad deals. The only person that deserved the deal to me was Bonovich. That I like him.
Bodan Bogdanovic.
And Trae Young.
Oh, yeah, Trae Young. Yeah,
and my boy D'Lo Gallinari. I think he's
Speaking of like guys, I guess potentially being on the move or upcoming free agents, we got some key free agents, I would argue, this upcoming season. We just talked about a few pods ago, Draymond opting out, Fred VanVleet opting out. We know James Harden is going to be a free agent, whether he's on the move to Houston, whether he resigns in Philly. Kyrie, is he going to stay with Dallas? Is he on his way to LA? Who really knows? Kyle Kuzma, that was another one because Washington's kind of in the same boat as Atlanta. They're kind of dealing all those bad contracts. See ya, Kristaps. See ya, Bradley Beal. I think Kyle Kuzma's next, to be honest.
And we know Dylan. Yeah. And two big men I have my eyes on. I think who could fit a team and possibly take them places. Nikola Vukovic, remember from Chicago, solid double big man. And then Jeremy Grant. Remember, he was traded to the Trailblazers. I think he can still give you around 15 to 20 points a game, though. I think him going to the right situation could possibly, like, if you could add Jeremy Grant to the Warriors, I think Warriors just became X amount of better.
100%. Because he plays both ways, too.
If you add Jeremy Grant to the Boston Celtics, they get way better. You add Jeremy Grant to the Los Angeles Lakers, they get way better. You add Jeremy Grant to the damn Grizzlies, they get way better. So, it's not just these superstar names. Like Chris Middleton, he's also a free agent. Imagine if somebody's able to steal Chris Middleton away from Milwaukee. Will Milwaukee even be a contender next season?
That's a very valid point. I forgot he even opted out.
Yeah, he opted out, though. He's looking to get paid. Remember, he just coming off that injury. Maybe he's looking to get paid. Fred VanVleet, like you alluded to. Your boy, Derrick Rose, first time being a free agent. A defensive player of the year nominee, Brook Lopez. I think he's valuable. Both sides, 3-point shooting and defensive in the paint. And then another person, another big man who I think could contribute into winning as well if he gets the minutes, Christian Wood with the Dallas Mavericks. I don't see any situation that he returns to Dallas because he seemed very unhappy. He was getting less than 15 minutes a game. I think with the right situation, he could possibly become a starter once again.
My problem with that one, I like Christian Wood. I think he has the ceiling is the limit for him. Jason Kidd, for whatever reason, just didn't play him.
Yeah, he didn't play him. I understand.
I'm not a knock on Jason Kidd. I think he's actually a really good coach, Jason Kidd. I just never understood. He would ball. He would come into the game. I would watch Maverick games. He would ball, score 5 to 10 points in the time that he's in, and then get subbed out and then not play. I didn't get that.
I guess because they wanted to space the floor around Luka. Remember, they got Kleba. They're all shooters, so they have.
Christian Wood is better than him.
Yeah, but he's gonna clog up the paint for Luca. That I'm just telling you what
I know.
how they look at it.
It don't make sense to
I
me.
understand, Bill, but that's how they look at it.
Mm,
They rather have
well,
the extra shooter on the floor than
yeah.
somebody clogging up the paint for Luca. That's how
Well,
they look.
I imagine Draymond's gonna stay. There is a there
Yeah,
the Kings are interested in him. Reports came out and said I
yeah,
don't.
but are you gonna
Yeah,
give Draymond an offer he can't refuse, like a 4 year, 140 million, $150 million? Because if you're gonna give Draymond excess of 30, 35, $40 million, he's not an idiot. He won't. I understand he wants to play with the Warriors, but Dylan, if a team offering $40 million, he gotta sit back and look like, Warriors, y'all gotta at least give me 38, 35. I'm not about to sit here and leave 20 million on the table, 5 million a year.
now would you leave money on the table for a ring?
I got 4. That's the thing, Dill. Is
I
he
know.
doesn't he
His legacy at this point.
Dill, I understand his legacy, but at the end of the year, Draymond Green. You're not
He's
you're
already a Hall of Famer.
you're not exactly. You got 4 rings, you're a Hall of Famer. You're not Dame that's chasing.
That's another one. And thank you for bringing him up. I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is just annoying. I'm tired of him going on Instagram Live and throwing little jabs. One, I don't care. Just let me know when it. I'm dead ass. Just let me know where you go, and that's it. Apparently, him and his agent are meeting with the GM, the president, and the owner today to see what direction. Because apparently, his camp was not happy that they used the 3rd overall pick for Scoot Henderson. He wants. Yeah. Yeah. If you're not watching live, yeah, he just put up air quotes to Elvis. But no, I agree. I just think he came on Instagram Live and I had to see a video and it was Will Smith, welcome to Miami. And it's just like, okay, now you're getting all the Miami Heat fans happy. He said the same thing about New York a few weeks ago. It's like,
well, Brooklyn. Let's
whatever. I'm just like,
his homeboy is Malik Bridges.
it's just he's annoying at this point to me.
Still,
He's annoying. He's a girl for this. Girls do this.
I'm not gonna disagree, but I am gonna defame Damian Lillard in this part for one thing only. Don't he deserve to be happy?
100%. He gave Portland everything, but why are you being petty?
Isn't Dame a top 5 shooter of all time?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think he earned the right to. I think he earned the right to be like, you know what, I want to get traded to such and such. Kevin Durant, he earned the right. A lot of these players get traded to the team they wanted to. I know Dame had comments saying you're ring chasing, I'll never leave.
Thank you, because that was my next point.
So I personally think Dame is not going to publicly come out and say, I requested a trade like Kevin Durant did or what Kyrie did, or fire Steve Nash or trade me. Remember
that was wild, by the way.
Yeah. But Dame is not that. He's not going to be like, oh, fire Chauncey Billups or trade me. He's not going to do that. He's not going to go on Twitter and be like, yeah, I want to get traded. I want to get, I want to be trade request. I'm going to send in a trade request. No. But he's doing little hints, which, I'm not going to disagree with you, which is kind of lame, to say, hey, if y'all trade me, I won't be mad, So that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's giving hints. Oh, me and Malik Bridges, we go way back. Remember, he went to the game. He went to the Brooklyn versus Phillies game 3. He was there. Trust me. He said Miami. Jimmy, Pat Riley, looking above. Still, I understand where you're coming from, Dill, but all I'm gonna say is Dame has earned the right to pick and choose where he want to go. That's all I'm saying, Dill. Is he going about it the right way? No. Do I agree the way he's going about it? No. But we both know he's personally not gonna go out and publicly go on Twitter or Instagram and be like, yeah, I want to be traded.
100%.
He's just letting front office know. If you happen to trade me, these where I would like to go.
I agree. And even CJ McCollum's come out and said, Dame won't publicly come out and say, I want to trade. He's not that type of player. But my thing is, I agree with everything you're saying, and he's earned that right. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But be a man and be like, listen, if I do one out, I want to go to either Brooklyn, go to Miami. I want to win. I'm tired of rebuilding.
Still,
I respect you more. Don't be petty and be on Instagram Live with your boys and be like, yo, bro, in like a minute, play Welcome to Miami. You know the internet's gonna eat that up. I hate that shit.
Yo, but he can't go off that pedestal of, he called all these other players.
Oh, we got our man Z plays. He's a Heat fan talking about I need Dame to the Heat.
I would love to see it. That's what we're talking about. We would love, and Damian Lillard earned the right to do so. It's just I believe, he ain't gonna, sell out. He ain't gonna be like, yes, trade me. Because he called out Paul George. Remember him, Paul George, Pat Beverly, when they all joined the Clippers, they went a little Twitter feud during the bubble.
Yeah, so, I remember that.
Calling, y'all ring chasing, y'all going everywhere for a ring. I mean, he was saying that. And then how hypocritical would it be just 2-3 years down the road, you're doing the same exact thing. So that's why he won't do his thing.
Last thing on Dame, what's his claim to fame? Is it the shot?
All right. No
disrespect. I love Damian Lillard. I think he's a great player, but what does he have to prove? Like, he doesn't really have anything besides that shot and the look. The meme got it. The meme will live on forever.
Yeah, still, we look at it like that, but we don't know how much Dame means to the city of Portland. We don't know that. They might look at it, they're like, no bullshit, they might be like, Dame the GOAT. They might, people in Portland believe Damian Lillard is the GOAT. I know, Dill.
Because my boy Chael P. Sonnen from UFC, my man lives in Portland. He's the biggest man in Portland. He said, bye-bye, Dame. You don't want to be here. See ya. He's the biggest man in Portland. I'm telling you.
Nah, I believe it. I hear you, Dill. All I'm saying is my man Damian Lillard, he deserves to be happy. He deserves to compete for championship. We all know it's just that's not going to happen in Portland.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I do hope he does win a ring. All jokes aside, he does deserve it.
My man, he knows what's going on. He said they do, bro. He's from Washington. I'm telling you, you gotta look how they look at Dame, bro. They look at he's solid. He's loyal.
He is. I don't doubt that.
Some people make the case he's the most loyal person in the NBA. He's been there for 12 years.
To a fault at some point.
Think about it. He's been losing for 12 years.
Yeah.
Dame was like 30 something. It's been over 10 years.
Let me see how Damian Lillard is. Damian Lillard, he's 32.
I'm telling you, he got drafted at 19.
Yeah, shout out Weber State.
The 7th overall pick, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm telling you,
see, he's saying it. Damian, he's his favorite player.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, bro. I you know how I feel about Dame.
Yeah.
Z plays, bro. I used to get flamed at for saying this is years ago that Dame is a better point guard than Steph. Now I kind of regret that that decision. But bro, I used to get flamed for saying things like that, bro.
Yeah. Nowadays, you're better off just keeping your mouth shut. I feel like sometimes, but. Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think Dame's a great player, and I do hope if he winds up staying, I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine him staying just because he's in the point of his career where he wants to win.
Think about it, Dale. This is my last take on it. I think Damian Lillard's only shot to honestly ever to win the NBA Finals was the year him and CJ got to Western Conference Finals. Remember. People forget this. Kevin Durant was hurt during that series. Kevin Durant did not play a game in that Western Conference Final. It was the big three core. And Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. And then I'm pretty sure they lost in 5. They lost in 5, Bill. So, if you can't take the Warriors and beat them in the series or even, force a game 6 or 7 without Kevin Durant, let's just be honest, he possibly never deserved to even make it.
I don't know. A lot of people are saying that his best chance to win a ring is on the East. Now, a lot of people were saying I would argue his best chance is to win on the East. because you never know with Milwaukee. Inconsistency with Boston and Philly. I don't know how Brooklyn's gonna look. The Knicks, the who else made the Cleveland, another inconsistent team. So I think it's up in the air. Besides two teams in the West, you got to go through a juggernaut. I don't know if staying in the West is the best thing for him.
It all depends who he joins on the West, though. Because, for example, if he joins the Lakers, I think the Lakers will be the favorite. You know, if, for example, if he joins, let's go Eastern Conference. If he joins the 76ers, I think the 76ers might just become the favorite in the East. So it all depends who he joins. If he joins Miami, does Miami jump to, a top 3, top 2 favorite? Possibly. So I think it all depends who he joins. I think me personally, I would either like to see him in Miami, Miami, or Brooklyn because I'm a Nets fan, or with LeBron on the Lakers, just as a fan perspective. I think that would be pretty cool. Him, LeBron, and AD. But me personally, I think the best fit will be him and Joel Embiid, just so he could have another superstar to go along with him. Because we really know what he's going to give you night in, night out. And then to pair him with arguably, the second best player in the NBA, and Joel Embiid, I think that would be amazing. I would like to see what he'll do in Miami with the Heat. But
that's another thing. I hate saying Heat culture. We get it. It's Heat culture. It's just different.
This is my thing. This is why I say the fit might not be great. Because we've seen how Jimmy Butler crashed for some of his teammates. We saw what he was in Philly. We know what happened in Minnesota. So with another head wolf, because we all know if Dame goes to Miami, there's no question Dame is the best player on the team. Yeah. So is Jimmy gonna, be a good teammate? Is he gonna?
Yeah, no, I think it's actually different for me. I think he would fit perfectly with Miami because they need a scorer like that. And I think Jimmy does have that kind of alpha dog problem where he needs to be the alpha. But I think there's a certain level of respect. He's going to be like, okay, we know it's Dame's team, or it's kind of both of our teams. He's going to take some pressure off of me. I'll take some pressure off him. And I honestly think him and Bam would work better than him and Joel. Just because I don't think Joel's going to stay on the court. I honestly have no faith he'll be healthy. I know Bam's going to be healthy. So regular season, cool. You might win 45, 50 games, get the second or third seed, but they'll get knocked out in the first, second round. Joel Embiid has proven to you he can't get past the second round. Jimmy is a dog, and we've seen him, what he did with this team, taking them from the 8th seed all the way to the finals. So I think you add Dame Lillard to Miami, I think they're not a top 3. I think they're a top 1-2 team besides the Bucks. And we don't know what Jalen Green's going to do. Jaylen Brown, excuse me, from Boston. So I really don't know, man. Z players talking about Bam pisses me off every other game, man. Yeah, it's a little inconsistent sometimes, but when he's on, like he's on in the finals, he's a great big man, I think. Do you not agree?
He's solid, though. He's solid, but to me, at the end of it, he's undersized. He's not a true center.
That's fair, and he misses a lot of short jumpers that he's supposed to make.
Like he makes a lot of free throws, 10 to 15, but anything like around like 6 to 5 feet, he ends up missing for some reason.
No, that's a fair assessment, and I agree. I don't know. I just think with the coach, I just think it's a better fit in Miami, but we will see. We'll discuss more throughout the season about free agents, because free agency starts July 1st, right?
Next Saturday. We're gonna have
Saturday. We'll talk about it. Hopefully, over the weekend, just news starts breaking. That's what I can't wait.
There's some lines on Kyrie landing, Chris Middleton, Russell Westbrook, because it should, it's gonna be entertaining. It should be some lines.
Yeah, and sometimes you get ahead of the market, especially the future.
No, we didn't even bring up Russell Westbrook. I still think he adds something to. Joe, you're not going to tell me he didn't play better for Clippers than he did the Lakers.
He did, but that's not saying much.
I understand, but if you put, for example, Russell Westbrook, I don't want to say Detroit, but for example, for Detroit, I think he could average 25, 10, and 7.
Speaking of Detroit, I don't know if you saw over the weekend. You saw Cade Cunningham?
No.
Why my man look like he's 42? My man just looks old, bro. His second, third year in the league?
Bro, his knees are 40.
Huh?
His knees are 40.
Oh, bro, he grew out his beard. He grew out his hair. Like, he don't look good, bro. He just letting the
That
injury.
Detroit, bro. Detroit's not a great place to stay.
That's what I'm
You gotta
saying.
get
I,
back.
I feel for Cade because back in Oklahoma State when he was best player in the country, I was like, yo, he's gonna be the real deal. And yeah, I feel injuries has really hurt him. But
To be honest, that whole draft is kind of wishy washy.
I see the thing. I think I sent it to you on Instagram. It said 2019 draft. What are they doing now? It was number 1 pick. Zion, fucking porn stars. It was number 2, Ja playing with guns. It was all bad. I was like, yo, social media is crazy. But Elvis, let's get into these games. We got 7 games on the baseball slate. Let's start with the first game on the board, 7:06 p.m. tonight in the DMV Baltimore. The Orioles are taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Orioles minus 136 at home on the money line, plus 116 for the Cincinnati Reds. Over under is at 10. Any plays for you here?
Give me the Baltimore Orioles on the money line, Dale. Caught it up at minus 132, Dale. You got to even sprinkle something on the run line at plus 140, to be honest, Dale. I understand the Cincinnati Reds have been playing much better of late, but this is the Orioles at home in Maryland, Dale. I expect them to take care of business. So give me the Baltimore I'm gonna say Ravens. Baltimore Orioles.
You're ready for football season, kid.
We almost there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Reds, they kind of cooled down after going on that, I think, 12-game win streak. They've lost 2 in a row now to the Braves. Now they come on the road and they versus a really hot Baltimore team, 24-14 at home. They're 27-8 when they're the favorite. I just don't like either pitcher. I think there's going to be a lot of runs. Cole Irving for Baltimore is not good, and neither is Williamson either. I think we see a lot of hard contact. So I like Austin Hayes over 1.5 total bases. I like Austin Hayes, his HRR over 1.5. I like Matt McClain over 1.5 total bases. I like a lot of player props. I think there's going to be a lot of runs in this game. So
my people listening, my boy Dylan has been on a hot streak.
We didn't say, but yeah.
With these props, so listen carefully what's going on, people.
Elvis, 18-4 on Saturday with UFC, WNBA, and baseball. Got humbled yesterday, went 1-4, but that's fine. We're still up plenty of units. Let's get to the next game. Oh, my New York Mets at home taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. 2 awful teams. Verlander is on the mound, so there is some hope, but we still have Buck Showalter coaching. So minus 174 for the New York Mets, plus 146 for the Milwaukee Brewers. Over under is at 8.5. I wouldn't get this. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. How about you?
Still, some respect for Verlander. I'm going to lean the first 5 under 4.5. Just because I do expect Justin Verlander in the first couple of innings to, deal. He's still a fucking legend. So I do expect it to deal for a couple of innings, deal. And then I expect the Mets bats to be the Mets bat. Probably score 1 or 2 runs, So I'm going to lean the under first 5 and possibly full game, 8.5 under.
I do think even though Tommy Pham is the worst fielder in maybe Major League history, I do think he could hit. You're laughing, but I couldn't be more serious. I think he could get on base. I like his total bases. I like his HRR. I think he could hit the ball off of Colin Ray. But my prediction for how this game will go, you're right. Maybe stay under. Maybe Mets are winning 4-2, and then the 8th inning, Buck Showalter will give out the win for the Brewers and be like, "Okay, you guys go win the game now." And then he'll come out after the game and be like, "I'm proud of the way we're playing." Proud.
And you lost 4-3.
Proud. I almost broke the TV the other night, Elvis. Like, it's my anger level. Every game is rising. I might not have a TV by All-Star break.
Bro, I'm surprised y'all haven't fired him yet. Remember when Philly fired Joe Girardi like in May and they just took off? That's what you guys need.
Hashtag fire Buck. Thank you, Joe. Yes, because I was tweeting it too over the weekend because this man, he was coaching that Baltimore Orioles team that made the playoffs when Jose Bautista bat flipped it in Toronto. He threw in that bullpen. He's known for blowing games. So don't get me started with this. We got to go to the next game because I feel it coming already. Let's get to the next game. Atlanta Braves hosting the Minnesota Twins. Good matchup here. Spencer Strider going for the Braves. Sonny Gray is going for the Twins. Minus 230 for the Braves at home. Plus 190 on the other side for the Minnesota Twins. Over under is at 8.5. Elvis, I know the Braves they're playing good baseball and they're at home, but minus 230 against the Twins, it seems like a lot. What do you got here?
Still, this is another one I feel first 5 under 4.5 at minus 125 is a little chalky. Rightfully so, though. I think Gray and Strider on the mound could definitely go 6-7 strong and keep it low run. So I'm gonna lean under 4.5 first 5 as well.
Z players,
you know what? I'm taking it, Dill. In Atlanta, I expect the weather to be right. Guess what, Dill? A lot of ground balls and pop-ups. Give me first 5 under 4.5. Minus 125.
Z players, you mentioned the race to 6, neither for Mets. I love it. I don't think either team could get to 6 runs, to be honest. So.
Come on. Z plays with the under. I want the
under everything. For this game, I like Spencer Strider. I like his strikeouts over, I think it was 8.5, 9.5 when I first saw it. Don't know what it's at right now. I could just honestly check real quick. But he's a strikeout king right now. He only has 2 pitches, but they can't hit it. Oh, it's at 9.5, but it is plus money. I like that. I like over 1.5 earned runs for Spencer Strider. I think Pittsburgh. I think Minnesota can score some runs off of Spencer Strider. So those are the 2 props that I like in that game. For a side, I guess strictly value-wise, I think you got to lay a little something with Minnesota. Plus 190 is just egregious in my opinion. So got it back to Twins here. Just a slight lean. Let's go to Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. We got Andrew Heaney going for the Rangers, taking on Matthew Boyd of the Detroit Tigers. Minus $2 for the Rangers at home. Plus 168 for the Detroit Tigers. Over under is at 9. What do you like here, kid?
No doubt it, though. I like the Rangers in this spot, though. But am I going to lay $2 with them? I know it's Detroit. Rangers are at home. But I'm not going to lay the $2 with them, Dill, to be honest. If anything, no opinion, though. No opinion. I'm not going to tell the people lay the run line just because I do think Detroit could possibly make some noise, Dill, for some reason on the road. But I do like Rangers on the money line, but don't pay $2, people.
Yeah, no. I kind of like Andrew Heaney under 6.5 strikeouts, I just don't think he's that good, to be honest. But Detroit, they don't strike out a lot either, and I think they have good discipline at the plate. Minus 128 for under 6.5 strikeouts. I also like Corey Seager, everything, home run sprinkle. By the way, Ian Happ in the London series, we forgot I mentioned him on Saturday, and he did hit a home run. Getting better on those home run props. Seager, everything, run scored, total bases, HRR. I think Corey Seager is going to have a hell of a game tonight. So I'm on Corey Seager in the Texas game. 2 games left. Let's go out to Los Angeles. Los Angeles Angels hosting the Chicago White Sox. Angels minus 134 at home, plus 116 for the White Sox. Over under 8.5. Did you see they scored 25 runs and still lost the series?
I know.
Oh my God!
They have a plus 20 point differential. Still lost the series.
Still lost the series. I don't think I've ever seen some shit like that, Elvis.
Still,
what do you like here?
With that being said, they're back at home. I expect them to wake up a little bit, defunk what happened these past. Still, give me the Los Angeles. They gotta say Anaheim. Angels still in this. Give me the Angels minus 132 on the money line. I think. Shop around. I see at minus 134 now. So shop around, people. I just expect Anaheim. See, I did it.
It doesn't matter. I still say Anaheim. They're still Anaheim. This year, by the way, I'm going to start saying Redskins again. I don't know who the Commanders are. They got denied their trademark. It will always be the Redskins to me. I grew up on that.
I understand, Bill. But if we want to get to places, we can't call them that. We can't call them that. If we want to get paid the big bucks, we can't call them that. Well, you can't call them that. Because I ain't going to call them that. I don't know. What skin is red? I don't know.
HTTR. You know what that stands for? I learned it when I was down in the DMV. Hail to the Redskin. That's like their motto. It's like for the Jets, take flight. So, oh yeah, Z players. We were close to the O'Hearn props. I hit him for his total bases, and he got robbed a home run over the weekend. Don't worry, we might come back to Ryan O'Hearn again very soon because he's been raking as well. For this game, I agree. I'm not a big Reed Detmers fan at all, but I do think they'll bounce back here at home. Dylan Cease, I think they just I think they get value just off his name recognition, to be honest. So I'm not the highest on Dylan Cease. He is their best pitcher, but that's not saying much. I like Otani and everything. Total bases, HRR. I think he might hit a home run as well. So I'm all over Otani as well in this match. And then in the last game of the night, we will go out to the Pacific Northwest in Washington, Seattle taking on the Nationals. Seattle minus 260 at home, plus 215 for the Washington Nationals. Over under is at 8. What do you got in this one, kid?
Dill, I think you gotta sprinkle something on the plus 210 with the Washington Nationals. It's getting nasty outside.
Yo, I don't know if you heard that, but I saw. Yo, it's pouring now. It seems like it's Seattle out here.
It got nasty outside, Dill. Dill, I think at plus 210, you got to sprinkle something on the Nationals here, Dill. Don't get me wrong, is Seattle the better team? Yeah. Do I expect them to win? Yeah. But at plus 215, plus 10, I'm looking at it now, plus 215. The gambler in me just wants to sprinkle something. Think about it. Even on the run line at plus 1.5, they're at plus 105. I think that has to be the play, people. Mariners, they're a better team, but are they that much better, people? Honestly, I wouldn't go that far. I think the play will be Nationals plus the 1.5 at plus 105.
Yeah, I think at just a strictly value perspective, you got to sprinkle a little on the Nationals. And Castillo hasn't looked, the Luis Castillo we were accustomed to seeing after the trade deadline, after Seattle traded for him. I like his under 6.5 strikeouts. You could get that at plus money. Let's just be honest. Nationals not the best team, but they just don't strike out at all. 16% on the season. They're disciplined at the plate. I think Lane Thomas is a stud. I think he might have a big game. Teoscar Hernandez, over 1.5 total bases. I think he'll hit a home run. I like Julio Rodriguez, HRR. I like his total props. I like him to have a home run. So I think we see a lot of runs. So I do like the over as well. Over 8. I saw it at 7.5 at some places. So shop around, but I do like that play as well. Anything else I missed in the diamond?
No, that's every game. Only 7 games on the slate, people. Mondays are slow now.
Yeah,
that's what
perfect.
With the news.
Before we get to the WNBA, let me tell you guys a quick word about our sponsor, Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry, playing a round of golf with the boys. I had an elderberry on Saturday. I like elderberry. I'm kind of turning around. I was a Huckleberry guy, but now I think I'm turning around to the elderberry. So whatever it is, we got Huckleberry, elderberry, watermelon, and grapefruit. Whatever it is, it's made with that artisanal blanca tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. So our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, only one game on the hardwood tonight. Rematch of the game that happened on Saturday between the Fever and the Aces. Fever, they winded up covering the 16.5. I told you. I also hit on the first half over 85.5 points. I hit that as well. I like that again. Anytime Vegas is playing at home, I like to take the first half over. They just come out more aggressive, more locked in, more energy. So I usually take it. It went up a little. It's at 87, but it ended with 90 points in the first half on Saturday. So I don't see any reason why it doesn't do it again. I also have 2 player props as well. Kelsey Gray over 6.5 assists at plus 100. I'm just going to go right back to her. You can get that at even money over at Barstool. No free shout outs, but shop around for the best price. She had 12 dimes in her last game against the Fever. She's gone over this number in 6 of her last 10 games. I think we see another solid night from her passing the rock. And then I'm going to go Kelsey Plum over 18.5 points. She's gone over this number in 3 straight games, and she just dropped 26 on Saturday against this Fever team. So I think she's going to have another big game tonight. Elvis, last game, College World Series tied 1-1. LSU won in overtime. Florida won by like 20 runs yesterday. Game 3 tonight, winner take all in Omaha. I'm throwing you a curveball. I know I am. But what do you like tonight? Who takes it home? Let me read you the odds before we get there. So right now, the LSU Tigers are technically the road team, but they're the favorite. Minus 154, plus 120 for the Gators. Over under is at 9.5. What do you like?
Gotta lean the over 9.5.
Yes.
Just because, in college baseball, it could explode. And side note, I'm shocked that the Vanderbilt is not in the baseball championship. That's the first. Vanderbilt is the best college baseball school in the country. So I'm just shocked that Vanderbilt wasn't able to get in. Hey, no bad blood there. But Dill, LSU has a lot of success in recent years. National Football Championship, just won the Women's National Championship in basketball, Dill. I think that's enough. Let's give the Florida Gators a national championship, Dill. Give me the Gators. Money line.
It's hard to say no. I love the over. I'm going to hammer the over 9. We saw like 30 runs yesterday. I just think LSU has that pitcher. I don't even know his name, but he's going and trying to break a record. If he needs 5 or 6 strikeouts to break a record, he had 17 last game.
Dill, what happened to the last team that tried to break a record?
They lost.
History was made on
them. Joe's talking about Paul Sinski is the X factor. If he plays, LSU has a shot. Otherwise, Florida will win by 10.
I'll tell you, let's go.
Go Gators. Might as well take the plus money with your boys. Plus 120. I'm also on the over 9.5. Let's
go.
Shout
out Joe Kim Noah. Great Gator.
Shout out the best Gator to ever live. My man, Aaron Hernandez.
RP to a real one.
No. That was a joke, but no, I do love Aaron Hernandez. He's a legend. But no, Tim Tebow. You know, that Tim Tebow is a GOAT, to be honest. He religious man. He had my boy Urban Meyer coach him. They had a bomb squad. Aaron Hernandez got it.
You could make the case they won in spite of Urban Myers.
Hey, I didn't say it. You did. Elvis, thank you so much. We will see you guys on Saturday with another edition of The Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, will see you guys in a few days. So please follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at The Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, where we go live on every Monday and Saturday on YouTube, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers, and we'll see you guys down the road.